why you shouldn't aim for CGPA 4.0? Because you can. No, just kidding. You can, definitely can. If you plan for it, you can. Recently, I just got my result. My CGPA is 3.99. I'm not kidding. My CGPA is 3.99. I'm currently second year entering third year, and I have got four semester that has gone through, and then I have one A minus throughout all the exams that I took. I would consider myself a perfectionist. I want things to be at perfection. So 4.0, or we call it 4 flat, is something that I really put my eyes on since I entered university. And it's only that until I get my result, then that I know that, oh, I'm not gonna get 4 flat anymore because I have one A minus. Then even though I score all A after this, I'm still not gonna get 4 flat. And then I think to myself, so what? So what? Really? So what? Yeah, but I just want to make it clear, it's not that because I can't get 4.0 and then I just tell people that, oh, you shouldn't get 4.0. No, if you want to get 4.0, then you have to know what it takes to get 4.0, and really, is that what you want? Is that really what you want? So I really think about it. What I can do to get 4.0 if I had to go back in times and do it again? Well, not much to be done because I've done everything that I can. And I think what I can do if I want to get 4.0 is that I have to neglect all my responsibilities and commitment and don't do any extracurricular activities and don't do anything and just focus on study, and then do past years, and then do a lot of practice questions, do a lot of reading about reference books, talk to the lecturer a lot, ask questions in the class, blah blah blah, so on and so on. Then I should be able to make that A minus to A, right? Theoretically. But that would take too much of an effort for me to invest in. For example, for me to get an A in exam, I have to put 80% of effort. 80% of effort. So I have another 20% I can do other stuff. 80% of effort for me to get an A. But for me to get maybe an extra 5 marks, I need to put another 10% of effort just for then 5 marks. Just for the 5 marks. I heard of the 80-20 rules that only the 20% that matters are the one that you should put effort in, and then the 80% is just something that would contribute very little to the result, right? So for me to get an E, I have to cover that 20% that matters. So I read through all the chapters, read through all the lecture notes, do all the past year that are relevant, the 20% is there. But for me to get an extra 5 marks, I have to read through every single reference books in the library about my course in biochemistry. And I have to go through all the videos, online, YouTube, everything, look through articles, papers, everything, just for the extra 5 marks. For example. And that would take a lot of efforts to do. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that. If you think that is relevant to you, then and it's important to you, then you can do that. But for me, it's just that there's something that goes beyond that we can put our time, energy, and efforts to something that can build our characters and equip us with relevant skills. Over time, I realized one common trend in people is that people think that, oh, this people is good at scoring exam, this people has good result, and this particular person must be smart, and then he must be able to excel at work, must be a good leader, must be a good businessman, and so on. But I don't understand where does the logic come from. Just that the person is good in scoring exam, for example, I'm good at scoring exam, doesn't mean that I'm good at something else. For example, there was one time when I was attending driving school. I have to get my license when I was 18. And there's one person that I know who worked there, and then she told me, oh, of course, you are so good at scoring. You are so good. You have so good result in exam. You are so smart. You should excel in driving. Then I'm like, what? These are two different things. I'm good at studying, good in answering questions. I'm good at math, science, but driving is completely different things. Just because I'm good at studying doesn't mean I'm good at driving. Those are two different things. And this is a thing that I really think about it. People who are good at scoring with good result, of course there are some they have some good qualities that allow them or allow us to do so. We are disciplined, we are resilient, we are consistent, we are focused, we are organized, we are good at pattern recognition so that we know what exam question gonna comes out. We are good at strategy planning. We know when to plan for that. We know when to study this, when to study that. That's it. That is a skill we have. That's a skill we have. That doesn't mean anything if we cannot transfer the skill we have into something that relevant or valuable. And there's just a portion to it. It's not all of it. And one of the things that I see increasingly more important is problem solving skill. Problem solving skill. Since I started doing business, I have a business. I've been doing business for 2 years, but it's just a average small business. Doesn't amount to anything yet. And I realized one thing is everything in the world is about just solving problem. The greater problem that we solve, the greater value we have. For example, right? Um, Insurance agents or property agents, they make a lot of money, for example. And what is the problem they are trying to solve? They help us to gather all the information about a particular house, insurance policy. They help us to survey the place, to know the company who manage it, to know how to do all the paperwork, everything. Because we don't have time to do it, so they help us to do it. So that is their value. They help us to solve a problem that we don't have the time to find a place to stay, to find an insurance policy for us. And you don't have time to research about that. They help us to do all the research and all the homework for us. That's how they solve a problem for us. That's why they have a value and they have money. And I think everything in the world is like that. It's about solving problem. So instead of putting our time and effort into just studying, we can do something else. Do something that enhance our skills. But this is something that is so cliche that people talk about a lot. But that but it's something that is so slogan that people just say it but they didn't mean it. The point is we have to know what the employer want, or if let's say you're gonna be a business owner yourself, you have to know what you want in yourself in 10 years. I'm not there to say yet because I'm still a student, I'm not there yet, but I know what I want. I can see what I want and I'm in the path building it. So no matter what people tell me, I know what I want. I know what I want. I want to be a well-rounded person with good problem solving skill, resilient, discipline. That's it. That simple. And then everything that I join, that I do, will build up my character for that. And because I know that's what I want, and several digit and several point in the CGPA doesn't mean anything for me. And that's why I can say, even though I'm a perfectionist, I aim for 4.0. I didn't get it, but I have no regret at all. I'm happy on where I am right now. So whether where we want to put our time in is really up to us to decide. And because we are still considered young, I mean we are still young, 20 something, 30 something is still young. There's never too late to start anything, and we have all the time to do what we want as long as we decide what we want to do. And with that, I decide as a university student, I do value my study. I do study. I do go to class, but I'm not putting all the time that I have into doing that. And I have all the other things. Interesting, fascinating, some of the most challenging things I've been doing since my 2 years in university. I would like to share with you in our next video. See you.